You ever wonder what the real difference is between someone who succeeds and someone who just struggles? Well, we're about to dive into this incredible story about how one simple question turned a beggar into a successful businessman. And trust me, it reveals a really powerful truth about what success is all about.
It all kind of boils down to this powerful idea from Napoleon Hill: what you think about, you become. The suggestion here is that our thoughts, our mindset, literally have the power to shape our future. But that brings up a pretty big question, doesn't it?
I mean, if all it takes is positive thinking, why isn't everyone wealthy and successful? The story we're going to unpack today gives a fantastic answer. It shows us that the secret isn't just about what you think. It's about a fundamental shift in how you see your own value in the world.
All right, so let's meet our main character. Picture this. His entire world is the chaos of a busy railway station. Day in, day out, his life is built around one single passive action: just asking. His very survival depends completely on what other people are willing to give him.
And, he's trapped, but not by physical walls. He's trapped by this one powerful belief: I have nothing to give. This isn't just a random thought. It's the very lens he sees the world through. And it's what keeps him stuck in this loop of just barely getting by.
And then one day, the whole routine gets completely shattered. A sharp, confident-looking businessman walks onto the platform. And this one brief encounter, it's the spark that's about to ignite a total transformation in the beggar's life.
So instead of just handing him a coin, the businessman hits him with this: a question that just slices right through his reality. For the first time, maybe in his whole life, someone isn't asking what he needs, but what he's actually offered.
And here's the philosophy behind that shocking question. The businessman lays out a completely different rulebook for life. It's not about charity. It's about exchange. It's this powerful idea that to receive value, you first have to create it. And just like that, a seed has been planted.
The businessman walks away, but those words, they don't. They just hang there, swirling in the beggar's mind. He's not offended. He's just stunned by the simple, undeniable logic of it all. For the very first time, he's being forced to question the entire foundation of his existence.
Now, this period of deep thought, it doesn't lead to despair, not at all. It leads to a breakthrough. He goes from just thinking about his situation to actively looking for a way to change it, to find something, anything that he has to give.
Look, this wasn't some overnight miracle. It was a process. After mulling over the businessman's words for 2 solid days, he started looking at his surroundings in a new way. He spots these wildflowers growing near the tracks and bam, a flash of inspiration. He connects the flowers to the idea of giving and decides on his first move. For every coin he gets, he'll offer a flower in return. And the effect was immediate. I mean, people's faces just lit up. They weren't just dropping a coin out of pity anymore. They were taking part in this joyful little exchange. He saw the proof right away. When he had flowers to give, the coins poured in. When he ran out, it slowed to a trickle. The principle of exchange was real.
So this new strategy, it wasn't just about making more money. It was the birth of a whole new identity. So when he meets that same businessman again, he's not a beggar looking for a handout. Nope, he's a peer, ready to make a deal.
The businessman sees the change instantly, and his words are so incredibly powerful because they aren't just praise, they're a confirmation of the beggar's new identity. This is the exact moment he stops seeing himself as a beggar who sells flowers and starts seeing himself as a true businessman.
And here it is, the transformation laid out plain and simple. On one side, you've got a mindset of just taking, which only leads to survival. On the other side, a mindset of exchanging, which creates value and leads to actual success. His world didn't change him. His perspective changed his world.
And just look at how fast this all happens. It's kind of mind-blowing. From one challenging question to a new business idea in just a couple of days. And only 6 months later, he's a completely different person, meeting that businessman not as a beggar, but as a peer.
So he fully embraced this new identity, a trader. Someone who fundamentally understands that success isn't about what you can get, it's about what you can give. He stopped letting his circumstances define him and started letting his potential lead the way.
The final meeting between these two really brings the story's powerful lesson home. It's not really a story about a beggar anymore. It's a universal principle about how we all create our own reality.
And this is the ultimate realization he has. His circumstances didn't change him. He changed his circumstances by changing his perspective. That identity of a successful businessman wasn't something he had to go out and get. It was inside him the whole time, just waiting to be unlocked by a new way of thinking. So what's the big lesson here for us? It's that your reality is pretty much just a reflection of your identity. If you see yourself as having nothing to offer, the world will probably agree with you. But the moment you start seeing yourself as someone who can create value, your entire future starts to shift.
And that brings us right back to the question that started this whole transformation. But this time, it's for you. It's not about money or some grand gesture. It could be a skill, an idea, a moment of kindness, or even something as simple as a flower. So, what value do you have to bring to the world? Because your answer to that question could change everything.